Leprechaun 4 in Space is a 1997 horror film that, do I really need to describe the plot? Do I really need to describe what exactly I think of this movie? Judging from the title alone, Leprechaun in Space, you could tell this is horrible. That it's a piece of fucking shit. I can't believe my head is doing backspins trying to figure out how this film got made. I could blame the director, Brian Smith, or I should probably mostly blame Dennis Pratt, who wrote the film. Because anyone who sat there and said, alright, I want to continue the Leprechaun series, which that in and of itself is a mistake. But the fact that your continuation, your great idea for a new movie was to put him in space. Why? Why? Is it because it sounds like a novelty? Does it sound like one of those movies where it's like, oh wow, this character in space, I gotta check that out. Every horror movie that has done this, Hellraiser, hell, even Jason X was in space. I'm going to have to apologize to Jason X because when I reviewed those films, I ranted hard on Jason X. And you know what? I still don't like it, but at least there are fun aspects to that movie. At least there's great action. At least Jason is a badass. This film is so dull and boring and painful to watch. There is nothing to like about Leprechaun 4. Warwick Davis, who plays a leprechaun, I can't say he's good in this movie. I can't. Because as much as I'd like to say in the other movies that he was over the top and he was fun and he was goofy, this movie, it's not there. There's nothing there. And he wants to marry this, I guess she's an alien queen? Or maybe she's human? I don't fucking know. He wants to marry her to get more rich, even though he has that pot of gold. So why do you want to fucking get more rich? Why do you want to marry this woman? Why? None of this makes sense. I don't understand how his lair, now, it looks like the same place that was in the second movie, but it's in space. So does the leprechaun come from a planet of leprechauns? Does he live in space? Can he breathe in space? I know I said in my last review that I wanted the Leprechaun series to be a little bit more creative with the kills and have more blood and gore in it. And you could say this movie attempted that, but it's just, it goes too far. Like when you meet the captain of the ship, he's this guy who's half robot, and nobody knew that. And when the leprechaun gets a hold of him, he injects this weird goo stuff mixed with tarantula and just whatever he can, he puts into it, injects it into his head, and turns him into this human giant spider. That's the level of creativity these fucking people had going into this movie. As far as the cast goes, there's nothing really special about anyone. I will say, as a big surprise, Miguel Nunez is in this movie. And I'm sure most people know him from Joanna Man. I find it more surprising and hard to believe by how many horror movies this guy's been in. Friday the 13th, Part 5, The Return of the Living Dead. Like, this guy's been in a lot of horror movies. Why did he pick this film? Why? But he ended up surviving the movie. So maybe that's why. Maybe he said, what? A black guy survives? Fuck it, I'll do it. So there you go. The main girl, played by Jessica Collins. She's hot. And I can tell this movie knows that because every chance they get, they try to pour water on her because she got hit with acid just to get her shirt wet. Or later on, when she gets attacked by the human spider, she has to take her pants off and she just has panties. And she's running around. I'm like, as hot as she is, and And as much as it's like, yeah, cool, it's not enough. It's not enough to make me like this movie. It's not enough to make me forgive this film for any of the bullshit that I sat through. Their sergeant, this guy that they set up as this badass character who he got blown up by a mine, so half of his skull is gone. And they were saying he even carried one of the soldiers after that happened to him. Like, he's legit a badass, right? So what do they do with this potential badass character? The Leprechaun mind controls him, puts him in a dress, and he ends up singing and dancing. It's like, I could understand if this was actually funny, then at least I could go with it and have fun. No, it's just lame. Even near the end, where there's a device that makes the Leprechaun into a giant, I'm like, wow, guys. Fucking wow. Fuck Leprechaun 4 in space. You wasted my fucking time. I haven't seen one good movie in this Leprechaun series. And if you're gonna ask me why do you keep watching, why do you torture yourself through it, I really don't know. Maybe there's a part of me with some curiosity that wants to see how bad this series gets. I don't know. Call me dumb though, because I'm putting myself through this. I have nobody to blame at this point but myself. I think there's only 2 more movies left. And we all know what those are. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you also saw Leprechaun in space. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later.